My pain is not my only paintbrush.
So during the pandemic, it was a lot of tensions were high and stuff. And then when George Floyd was murdered, I had already been writing, because I was thinking one day, I was like, I need to write something because my second book was dedicated to love too. And then I realized that I wasn't really reaching the male audience, which, guys, sometimes we don't really like talking about love. So it's like, I kind of need something more geared towards the fellas, but something that everybody could enjoy. And so when George Floyd was murdered, like my poems kind of changed and they kind of became like an outlet for my frustration and my pain for what was going on. And I noticed that my poetry didn't have any hope at the end. And part of what I want to do is whenever I'm sharing something with people, I want there to be some sort of hope in there somewhere. And so I refocused my poetry. Some of the poems stayed the same, but they're not going to be in the book or anything like that. But some of them stayed the same, and some of them are kind of geared towards having hope. And some time went by because there was a poem that I wrote called "Familiar Fruit," and it's my modern day version of "Strange Fruit." And it's just, if you're familiar with that poem, it's just about how we're treated and what happens. And so that was a poem that pretty much started it all. And then I was like, no, I can't just focus on that, because it seems like whenever we talk about our pain and our trauma, those things are interesting to people. People gravitate towards that. And I was like, no, I want to tell stories, stories through the eyes of a black man, our stories that